Hello, I'm Mcbober. Welcome to the Alan Wake Flashback in Fortnite. So I just tried streaming this a little bit ago and it didn't work, but hopefully it will this time. So yeah, I'm just gonna go on here and give it a shot as though I'd never tried, because I only started for a couple of minutes before I started having issues. So I'm not usually a big Fortnite player. It's not really my kind of game. I think I don't think I'm young enough for it, honestly, but they have this event going on called the Alan Wake Flashback, which is a recap of sorts of the game Alan Wake. And I thought it'd be appropriate to go through this since Alan Wake 2 comes out in about a week, and I'm hoping to stream it. So I don't know exactly how much of the game this recaps or how long it is. This might be a really short stream. I don't know. We'll find out. To give a little intro, what is Alan Wake? Since I'm not playing the real game here. It's sort of a horror action single-player game about a writer who gets sucked into like a shadow world of sorts. Hopefully this recap will explain it.
In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer, and 13 years ago, I found myself in a horror story of my own making.
So in Alan Wake, you get a flashlight and you aim it at enemies and stuff to do things.
I used to live in New York City with my wife, Alice. I wrote crime novels starring a fictional detective named Alex Casey. They made me famous. But then I killed off Casey.
So yeah, basically Alan Wake is a Stephen King-esque horror writer who basically gets trapped in his own horror story.
What, now you can't even talk to me? I need to write something different. Something new, but nothing works. I can't take it.
Alan, you've been working on this for over 2 years. You need a break. I heard about this peaceful little town. It'll be the perfect place to clear your head.
So Alice convinced me to visit Bright Falls, a small, quiet town in Washington. Just what I needed. First, we stopped at the local diner to get our cabin key from the landlord.
Some of this rings some bells, but like the intro said, it's been like 13 years since this game came out, so it's been a while since I played it.
As soon as I stepped in the door, the waitress Rose recognized me. Said she was my biggest fan, had all my books. After she made me promise her an autograph, I asked about the landlord. Rose said he must have gone to the restroom.
If I recall, spooky stuff happened back here when I played the original game.
I checked the back of the diner. It was dark, foreboding. The kind of place that made your skin itch. That's when Barbara Jagger appeared. An older woman in a vintage funeral gown, like something out of a 1960s horror novel. She said the landlord hadn't been able to make it and handed me the cabin key. She insisted she'd come by later to check on us and to meet Alice.
It's funny how they made this, because like that's clearly like the original character models from the game, but they're like stuck in a newer environment.
Alice and I drove through the majestic landscape to our cabin. The little wooden house stood alone on a tiny island near the shore of Cauldron Lake. in the bowl of an impressive caldera.
Wonder why they didn't like give me a different character model for this.
It's gorgeous, Alan.
Just generic
It's
Fortnite person.
all right.
Are you sure you read the directions right? It's nothing like in the brochure. It said near the lake, not on it.
It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here.
So I found like a weird collectible at the start. I wonder if there's more. Oh, here's one. As I ask. I don't know what collecting these actually does. Seems pretty linear otherwise. I don't know if I'm actually going to fight any enemies in this, or if it's just walking. I assume it's just walking around.
I'm upstairs. I have a surprise for you. Surprise!
Alice, what is this?
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of
Damn it,
scenery would
Alice,
get you past.
Everyone keeps...
Hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes
So now
in
you want to
helping
get me
artists.
committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Don't! Just don't! I don't want to hear it!
I vaguely remember a lot of these events.
Oh no.
Yeah, you come back to this cabin in like weird flashbacks again and again.
When I came to, I was behind the wheel of a crash car on a forest road. I felt like I had woken up from one nightmare only to find myself in another. I remember diving in after Alice. So how was I here?
I like that they got the original voice actor to do this. I assume he's still going to be doing the voice in the sequel. I don't know a whole lot about the sequel. I saw like one trailer and it looked cool. Whoa. Sideways. Am I supposed to be sideways? I don't think I was.
The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I'd planned to use for the next novel I'd never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. Departure by Alan Wake.
Okay, we're collecting pages, much like the original game. Platforming, huh? Okay.
The Taken stood before me. It was impossible to focus on it, as if it stood in a blind spot caused by a brain tumor and eye disease. I was terrified. I squeezed the flashlight like my life depended on it, willing it to stop coming any closer. Suddenly something gave, and the light seemed to shine brighter. I found a page of writing, but it made no sense. A fragment of some demented horror story.
Yeah, so the enemies in the original game, you had to like shine the flashlight at them to weaken them, and then you could kill them with guns and stuff. And that was pretty much how the combat worked.
At first, I kept finding the pages as if by accident. The book I couldn't remember was either a terrible and true prophecy or an act of creation that had rewritten the world. I began to hunt the pages feverishly, for they held the answer to the mystery. I realized that the shadowy figure was the character from the page I just found. The Taken. A man taken over by a creature of supernatural darkness called the Dark Presence.
I get to fight him? No. Okay. I don't really know how much there's... Okay. I was gonna say, I don't know how much exploring there is to actually be done, but it doesn't seem like much.
All right. I'll keep writing. Outside there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the story, there's only darkness. I can feel her presence in the dark. Just now, I could smell her perfume in the room. I'll reach her, I'll fix it up. I'll bring her back. The story will come true. If I stop, she's lost.
I would come to realize the lake does something to works of art created here.
So,
It
yeah.
lifts the story from the page and gives it form. Turns fiction into terrible truth. The manuscript is completely real.
Is it just 2 routes? This route gives me the collectible. Whatever those do.
I tried to hold on to Alice, but her form melted away. I was losing control. Dr. Hartman stood in her place. I wanted to hit him, but my arms were jelly. He smiled. It was a reassuring smile, and I hated him for it. You're a patient in my clinic. Have been for a while now.
There you go, Alan.
Hartman? I fell. What? No, you. I found myself stuck in Cauldron Lake Lodge, Dr. Hartman's clinic. He tried to convince me I was a patient of his, that I had imagined everything. I knew he was lying. Soon enough, his true colors would be revealed.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
The pages I'd been carrying with me were gone. I needed them back. They were the key to finding Alice, to understanding this mystery.
That actually got me. Funny. I didn't expect any jump scares in this. That was pretty good.
The Dark Presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. When the story reached the end it longed for, it would finally be free.
I really am just going step by step through the game so far. This could be pretty long if it keeps doing that. Which is good. I was hoping I wouldn't be playing for only like 10 minutes. That wouldn't be much of a stream. Oh, I need some enemies to fight though. I liked the combat in the old Alan Wake. It was kind of fun. I remember this level in the game, and it like gets all corrupted by the end of this area. The whole place goes crazy.
I broke into Hartman's office to learn the truth. The manuscript pages were on his desk, the ones I had found and more. I confronted him, furious. He admitted he had been lying and tried to cut a deal with me. He was still trying to manipulate me, to use my writing for his own ends and to make the Dark Presence stronger in doing so.
I like how he's holding a flashlight in that cutscene. I'm pretty sure it was a gun in the actual game. I don't know why you would aim a flashlight at someone threateningly. I wonder if they're like not allowed to have realistic looking guns because it's Fortnite. I haven't played Fortnite since they first came out, but I remember the guns being pretty cartoony.
I saw myself run toward the cabin, flashlight in my hand. I followed my past self. I was an out-of-body observer, a time traveler in a crazy dream. This was the beginning. The night Alice had disappeared. The mystery of what had happened during the missing week was about to reveal itself.
I remember at some point in the game a truck gets possessed. Why is it first person all of a sudden? Is it supposed to be?
In a dream, I found myself back at the cabin, just like the manuscript described.
Okay, it is intentional.
It felt like I was reliving a suppressed memory,
Weird.
a waking nightmare. This was my chance to find out what had happened to Alice.
I wonder why they decided to make it first person.
Alice!
Nope. No collectible. Guess it would be kind of weird to put it in the same spot twice. Oh, this is like higher up now than it was last time. Huh. Still not sure why they went first person suddenly.
I remembered it all now. In the dark, I'd written for days, a week, almost a complete manuscript of a novel entitled Departure. Jagger had been my editor, whispering in my ear, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. I thought I was saving Alice. Yes. All right. I'll fix it. I'll bring her back. Under the influence of the Dark Presence, I'd written a horror story, and now my own words were tearing my world apart. It was using my story to grow stronger, to spread its darkness. But somehow some part of me had been aware enough to write my own escape into the story, a way back to Cauldron Lake, to Alice.
They've definitely left out a lot of details by this point, like other characters and stuff. And it just said 3 of 3, so I guess this probably doesn't have too much longer to go. I guess they're not going to recap the expansion. The original game had like a DLC expansion that continued the story a bit. But I don't think they have time to cover that. Just one more. Oh. Not allowed to swim. Oh, you sent me way back, huh? Oh, no, no. So this whole thing I'm doing where I'm like making things exist by aiming at them, that happened like at the very end, I think, of the original game. Once the world started like breaking down. I considered just playing the old game, but I've been kind of short on time lately. I haven't really. I don't think. I think it's, I think this might be my first non-Star Wars Unlimited stream this month.
The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story, but the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
Oh, now it's small again.
Jagger was waiting for me, but I wasn't afraid. I had light on my side. I was ready. I fought Jagger with the light, shattered the darkness inside her. She was gone. But this was a horror story, and the ending had not yet been written. There would be a price to pay.
Is that it? I don't remember this. Is that how the game ended?
There's
remember-
light and there's darkness. Cause and effect.
I remember Alan was like
There's
trapped in
guilt,
the
and
dark
there's
world.
atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. Alice was safe, but the balance had to be kept. I'd taken her place, a small price to pay. Now I was trapped here, in the dark place, outside reality.
I can finally go in the back door. Oh wait, no, that's not the back door. But I missed one collectible. Is it still around somewhere?
If I wanted to escape, I would have to start writing again. A new story. A sequel to Departure. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. Return by Alan Wake.
Is there more?
A dark presence is out there. It's hunting me.
Here we go. Here's the DLC.
Spies are always watching. It's trying to catch me.
When they started doing live action stuff.
It did more than once. It's stealing from me. Stealing my identity. It wants to be me. Replace me. Twisted version of me. Scratch. Mr. Scratch. It's slithering into the story. Once it's in the story, I have to use it to keep the story true. It got in. I have to
to make the story darker now. But that gives it power. That's bad. I don't want that. But I have no choice. It's an arms race. All right, now keep it together. Damn it. I'll be the first one to cross the finish line.
I guess that's it. All right. So that's kind of the basis of the Alan Wake DLC. It established like a villain, because the first game didn't really have a main villain. It was just the darkness in general. That Mr. Scratch is like a evil version of Alan Wake. All right, well, I guess that's that. I leveled up. Sure. Really don't care about Fortnite levels. All right, well, that was a pretty short stream. A little under half an hour, but I didn't know what to expect. But that's it for Alan Wake Flashback. There is one other game called Control that takes place in the same universe as Alan Wake. It's, I guess you could call it a spinoff, but really it's just another game that the developer made that is loosely tied into Alan Wake in the sense that they have a shared universe. I haven't played it. I always kind of wanted to, but I don't know if I have time to try to cram it in before Alan Wake 2 comes out, but if I have a bunch of free time, maybe I'll dive in. I can at least play some of it, if nothing else. I own it, I own like 3 different versions of it. I have it on like PlayStation. I think I have it on the Epic Game Store. I have it on Good Old Games. But I had never actually gotten around to playing it. But I probably should, because there's probably a good chance there'll at least be a reference to it in Alan Wake 2. So I'll see if I can squeeze that in here somewhere. But for this particular stream, just to keep the titles aligned and all that, that's going to be it here. So this is probably, I assume this will probably be the only time I ever stream Fortnite, but you never know. You know, somebody else does some weird tie-in. Fortnite's all about the weird tie-ins. You can see a Transformers ad right there. But usually it's not like a story thing. They just throw like character models in there. Like, I think they have Resident Evil and Star Wars. They have all kinds of crazy stuff, but it's just the characters. There's no story. So I didn't ever really cared until this. But anyways, yeah, that's going to be it for this. So thanks for the, I think a couple of people stopped by. I saw the viewer count go up. So thanks for joining me on this little journey. I don't know if anybody needed or cared about an Alan Wake recap, but yeah, if you plan to watch me play Alan Wake 2, then and you're not familiar with the original game, then this kind of primed you for that. So yeah, thanks folks, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Well, I'll be doing Unlimited tonight, like I always do, but you know, for just my solo streams of playing things, I'll see what I can get to one.